Obviously, they came back in the second half and made the plays that winners make. We turned the ball over. They capitalized on it, and obviously very disappointing. Now, as coaches, we got to really look critically at a number of things. Number one, we got to look at schematically some things that we can do and help our guys. Number two, we got to look at personnel, make sure we've got the right people in there at the right times. And we just lost momentum again, and we got to do a better job picking each other up by doing that. But a bunch of guys in that locker room, they're very disappointed in their coaching efforts, very disappointed in the way that we played, but we'll stick together, and we're going to find a way. I'd like to thank our great fans. It was great fan support tonight, especially our students. It was absolutely outstanding in the environment, not only that we thank them for, but we fully expect of them as we move forward. So we'll see them back here in a couple of weeks for homecoming. But disappointing. Congratulations. Ray does a great job. They absolutely did a nice job adjusting and find a way to get it done. So with that, how about some questions?
Yeah, was there any specific point, whether it was a play or maybe just a period of time where you felt the momentum shift and things get out of hand or lose control?
Well, I don't think we ever lost control. We just turn the ball over and then you get a stop, and so you give up scores off those turnovers. That's where you get the swings to you. So, we got to play better team football together.
What type of adjustments did they make at the half that gave you guys some challenges?
I'm not quite sure they made a whole lot of adjustments. I think we just didn't execute. Little things, but nothing major schematically. We just turned it over. This guy named Denard threw a jump ball, pretty nice jump ball, and kid made a play. We had multiple guys in position to make plays tonight. Their kid made it, our young man did not, and it's part of the solutions that we got to come up with. We got to look at what we're doing schematically. We got to look at what we're doing personnel-wise.
Talk about the play with Dan. What obviously was clicking really well from the first half, and what you need to do to keep it going for 60 minutes?
Well, first and foremost, take care of the football. We were moving the ball again, and those two turnovers were tough. That first 3 and out. Again, we thought we had a good plan coming out of the second half. We were sitting there talking as coaches. We don't think that there was anything major schematically that we didn't adjust to properly or they did that stopped us. We just feel like we stopped ourselves. That's a little disappointing.
Coach, Michigan converted 14 of 17 third downs today. What do you think was key behind that?
This young man named Denard Robinson, pretty good. So, good player. Probably the best that we've seen in a while. So, he was outstanding.
What do you think? Did you feel like you had him relatively under control in the first half, Denard? Throwing those 3 interceptions.
Yeah. We had a plan to try to take the ball out of his hands, and I think for the most part we were able to do that. There were some things that obviously we didn't do well, but that was our plan. And, he's going to throw the ball up there for you, and we got 3 picks. We should have had at least 5. And if we get those 2 other ones, it's a completely different ballgame. We don't lose momentum. We'll probably sit with momentum, but without that happening, they get it, and then they make those big explosion plays. It's difficult to overcome.
Talking about the one that Kerrigan and one with Evergreen?
Yeah.
The jump ball?
Yeah. 50-50 ball. We lost.
It's on the play where Danny loses his helmet. You obviously felt that it got yanked from him.
I got to worry about 3 kids' college funds, so I'm going to leave it at that. How does that sound?
Last couple of weeks, had a good lead and sort of falling apart in the second half. Do you have a reasoning for that? Or?
Win both games. Well, last week was pretty obvious, and so was this week. We turned the ball over this week, and last week we had some guys had the same thing happen. We let the ball go over our head. So, it's not like a broken record, but we got to take care of the ball. We got to fix things schematically.
If Dan Persa and Tyler Scott here to take your questions.
Dan, can you talk about, obviously, what you guys are doing so well in the first half, and did they make adjustments, or was it more on your side?
No, I was more on our side. I think we just can't turn the ball over like that. We came out, went 3 and out, and execute, and we turned the ball over to the next 2 drives. And then we were moving fine, and then we just had a couple turnovers.
And how frustrating is it for this team now for 2 straight years to be on the cusp of so many big wins and then not be able to pull them out?
Yeah, it's frustrating. But we have no one else to play by ourselves, so, we got to look at inside ourselves and see what we got to do to pull it out. That's the end of it. That's what we got to figure out, and I think we'll do that.
Dan, can you describe the play where you lose your helmet? What all happened to?
Yeah, I was just dropping back, I brought pressure. That's all I got coming. I just ducked and ripped my helmet off and stood up and tried to throw it.
And there's no question in your mind that it should have been a penalty?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how it would have came off. But I don't know. They didn't call it, so it wasn't a penalty.
Now, we talk about, obviously, you guys, a week ago, geared up to stop Shieldhouse. This week, geared up to start Denard, stop Denard. How are you guys able to have so much success early on, and what did you have to do to keep on having the success?
We just focused on our keys and our game plan, and we just did the little things in the first half and throughout most of the game. But when it came down to crunch time, we failed. So.
What was that game plan trying to stop him? It looked like you were trying to get him, stop him up front, let him throw it. Is it kind of how you're approaching it?
It was just more focused on not letting him run, because when he runs, who knows what's going to happen. And we really focused on the run and trying to stop him there. So.
Danny, it looked like there were some times in the second half where you probably could have scrambled for some yardage, but you're clearly trying to make first down through the air.
Yeah, I think I was just trying to make bigger plays. I think I could have ran, but at the end of the day, I probably should have ran. But I was just trying to make big plays.
Anything else for Dan, Tyler?
How will a preparation be different for Iowa after the?
I think we just got to stay consistent. I think the sense of urgency has to go up. You can't go down this quick in the Big Ten game, in the Big Ten schedule. So we got to keep doing what we're doing, but we got to elevate. Got to put more time in. We're doing a lot, but we got to do more. And obviously, what we're doing isn't good enough.
Just going into the first half, is that as good as it's looked all season, maybe even in practice, something like that?
Yeah, definitely. We look pretty sharp, made plays. I really thought, having me and Dan in there at the same time really worked. And, it's tough. I feel like it's the same story every game. We're up in the first half and somehow we just lose it. So, once we put, 4 quarters of, Northwestern football together and do what we can do all 4 quarters, I think, we can be a really good team. But, until then, we have some work to do.
Is it a mystery to you why it keeps happening?
Yeah, it's tough. It seems like we go into halftime and then come out and then just, something happens to us. But, we got to avoid three and outs early out of the second half. I feel like, momentum's a big factor. And if we can keep the momentum and, just, keep our foot on the throat, I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, that something is that happens, and you have to figure it out.
No, I think it's just gut check time now. We talk about it, and now it's time for people to start doing it. So, as a team, as a whole team, we got to come out and start making plays when we can make them and finish the game.
Anything else for Kain?
Shane, do you feel like they made any defensive adjustments in the second half, or was it just more you guys just not executing quite the same way?
Not too many. Early on they played a little bit of man when I went out in the slot and played receiver. After that, they put a little zone after that. So that was the only real adjustment. Nothing too major. It's no excuse. We got to come out and make plays. They didn't throw anything at us that we hadn't seen before. So we just got to fix it.
Kain, when Fitz came out to argue the call with Danny in the face mask, was that the angriest you've ever seen Fitz?
Yeah, and he apologized in the locker room. He knows that he has to keep his calm, and it's just tough. It's a big play in the game, and hopefully if we get that call, we can go down there and put the points on the board. But it's just frustrating. I think that was just he was just showing some frustration. It's tough having games like these, and hopefully we can fix.